Hello, everyone. Let's get started. Please download Laboratory 13 from Blackboard. Sorry. Today we are going to learn the second part of NumPy package. Okay, so please use your Anaconda, use your Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook to open Laboratory 13. Okay. And please run the first script to identify your hostname, username, and kernel information. And the second one, please input your full name, our number, and the date. Okay. In the last lab, we learned how to declare variables and how to compare variables, right? And in today's class, we need to learn how to do the arrays manipulation. For instance, the copy and delete and the slicing, all right? It's very important. So first, you need to learn a function named numpy.copy. It allows us to create a copy of an array, particularly useful when we need to manipulate an array while keeping the original copy in memory. So, and the second one is about delete. Can return a new array with a sub arrays along with an axis deleted. Let's see some concrete examples. So here is an index one along axis one. Yeah, so you can delete it, right? You can delete the axis. It means a column. Axis is a column. Index would be the row of the matrix, and the axis is a column. And the next one you can also delete with 1 0 means the second row, right? The index would be 1 and second row. Here's the example. And the next one is about how to copy arrays and elements. For instance, here import NumPy as a NP, right? And next one here is we need to define a 1D array, print out, and then print. Step 2 is define y so that y is x, right? And step 3 means we want to get a copy of x, and we write so two different ways to like to get to another arrays. So for instance, here is a y. You just you use x to assign to y, right? And next one is to get a copy of x. So perhaps you want to know what is the difference, right? The next one we will show the difference. So it looks similar, but check this out. If we change some elements in X array, and let's check the output of X, Y, Z. You see, if we change the second element, 1 means the index 1 means the second element, right? And after that, X and Y has been changed, but for the third one, for Z array, it is the same. It's still the same, right? But why here I want to explain it to you. For if you define another array, for instance, Y, use assign X to Y, it means actually X means a name. So for instance, this array is stored in your computer in the memory of your computer. It's located I think it's like a 24 bytes, right? And then the storage has a name is X. So, and if you define Y is X, so it means Y and X are different names, but they both point to the same storage, the same data structures, like this array data structures. Okay, so that's why here you assign X to Y. It means you didn't change the storage, the array storage. You only have another name for the storage. But if you use the copy function, you create another package, another block of storage in memory. Okay, so it means you have two. If you use numpy.copy, you have two different arrays in memory. But if you use y equals to x, means assign x to y, it means you only have one array in memory. Okay, that's why here, that's why if you change the second element of x, it means because y and x, they both point to the same array in memory. That's why the element of y has been changed, because y and x are just different names, but they represent the same block of arrays. But if you use numpy.copy, it means you have another copy of arrays. So that's why here it's still the same. All right. It's the difference between y and z. So it depends on you. If you want to keep the original copy of x, you need to use numpy.copy x to keep a copy, right? And the last one, the step 5, so delete the second element of x. So you can delete with y or x. Okay, so here y is the numpy.delete y, and the second one would be the index, right? Index 1 would be the second element. Yeah, so here you see. But here I want to give you another demo. Sorry. After that, if you print out x, it would be 1, 8, and 3. Why? Anybody knows that? So here, if you use this way to delete y, delete the second element of y, but you use another name to store it. So for now, if you do this way, x and y, they are different. They point to different storage. Okay, so it means for now you have 3 different copies if you use this way. Okay, because you delete them, you create another copy, you delete the second element, but you assign it to another name. Like here is y. So, but for x, for the storage of x, it doesn't matter. So you didn't do anything on the original copy. Okay, so it's about the last one. So only show you the difference. Okay, so any questions so far? All right, so next one is about the sorting arrays. So sorting means putting elements in an ordered sequence, and the ordered sequence is any sequence has a order corresponding to elements, numerical or this strings, ascending or descending. You sort with a 2D array. Both arrays will be sorted. So you can, for instance, if you use a 2D array, you can sort them by the rows or the columns or something, but as a flattened array. So we will show you how to do that. Okay, so first one, let's see the most simple one. So so the first one is about how to sort the 1D arrays. Define a 1D array as the first one, FIFA 2020, Red Dead Redemption. So they're all video games, right? Print out, sort them alphabetically. So it means you can use the sort function, right? So for instance, you need to import NumPy package and then set another array and use sort games, right? Sort a number game. If you only use the sort and then array name, nothing else arguments, so it will sort in ascending order by default, okay? But if you use double colon and then -1, so it means you want to sort it in descending order, okay? So it's to whether use the sorting functions in NumPy array. Okay, let's check out. The first one would be the original copy, and then sort ascending is the ascending order. For now, perhaps you have a question. For instance, for like the FIFA 2020 as the first element, and the FA Fallout is the second element, right? So perhaps it will check the first character, right? First character they are all F. So they will compare the second character. It's I in uppercase and A in lowercase, right? But the second one is larger because it will compare the ask2 values of these characters. So A is greater than I. So let me show you ask2 values. Ask2 table. Yeah, you can show the ask2 table. Yeah, so see here is the ask2 table. It's a coding series. So it means you want to give each character a value, right? So as you see here, the English character starts from here. The A is the 65. So let's check out. We want to compare I in uppercase and A in lowercase, right? Let's check out. So I is 73, right? But A in lowercase is 97. So 97 is greater than 73. So FIFA is smaller than fallout, right? So yeah, please make sure. Actually, the ask2 values of all uppercases are smaller than them of their lower cases, right? So you can check and you can see the special symbols. They both have some ask2 values, right? So it's very, very useful, but you only need to know it. Like the lower cases is bigger than upper cases, okay? That's why here is the second one. But if you compare the first two with the second one, with the third one, you see only you can only compare the first character. F is smaller than G, right? And N. So the same for the fourth one, the fifth one, right? Because B in upper cases is smaller than E in lower cases. So that's why here it is NBA is a fourth element and the need is the fifth element. Okay. And the last one is about the descending order. Okay. It's about how to sort them, sort like a 1D array. So any questions? Okay, next one is about n-dimensional arrays. So it's different from 1D array because you need to like give more arguments. For instance, here is a 3 and 3 arrays, right? 3 rows, 3 columns, and print out A. And then if you want to sort them along columns, you need to set axis as 0. It means in each column. And then along rows means the rows you need to set axis as 1. It means sorting in each row. For instance, here, the first sorting, it means the columns, right? So that's why here 0 would be the first, and 17 would be the second one. It's last one, and for the last column 0 to 12, right? Along the columns, and second one is about along the rows. So actually here is the -6 is the first one, 2 and 17, right? So that's why here is this order. So it's about, yeah, so it is about how to sort them by in each row or each column. And if you don't write the axis arguments, it will be sorting by default. Sorting by default, it means it will sort by sorting each row, right? So if you don't write anything, you only use a sort A, it means sort by default. It means sort in the rows, along rows. So that's why here they are exactly the same, okay? But you can also set axis as none. It means it will be considered as a 1D array and then sorted in ascending order, okay? Yeah, so that's why here along non-axis 1D. Yeah, so right. Any questions so far? Okay. Okay, next one is about how to slice arrays. It's very important. We can do slicing because in data structure list, we have already learned how to slice simple list, right? But for arrays, they are similar. Here you see to select index, start index, end index, and you can also define the step. If we don't pass start, it's considered 0, and pass step is considered 1. If we don't pass the end, it's considered the length of the array in that dimension. Okay, so yeah, so here let's show let's see the one concrete examples. The first one, 1D array is just a list, right? So there are 5 elements from 1 to 9. Define this array and print out, and the slice. The start index would be 1 and the end index is 4. Start from 1, it means the second element, right? Start element, and before the end index, before the fifth element, it means 3, 5, and 6, 3, 5, and 7, right? That's why here the slicing. So it's exactly the same as you learn in lists. Next one is how to slice n-dimensional arrays. So first one, we have like a 5 and 5 arrays. And then step 1 is slice the first column. You print out the array first, right? And next one is slice the first column and print out. So the first argument is used to slice the different rows, right? And second one is about the columns. So that's why here we use just a column means all the rows, but only 0. 0 means only the first element. It means the first element of each row. That's why here is the first column. Okay. Then this is the first column, right? First column is from Superman. This is the first column, right? And second one is the third row and the printout. So third row would be the index would be 2, right? 2 means the third row, and then the whole, because you need to use the whole row. That's why here is only one column here. It means from the start, from the first one element to the last element. Okay, so, and the next one is you need to find out the Wolfram and print it out. So let's check out here. Where is it? Yeah, so it's the last element. So it's the fifth element, the fifth row and the third column, right? 5 and 3, but the index starts from 0. That's why it's 4 and 2, not 5 and 3. Okay, so it's 4 and 2. Okay, and next one is how to slice from the Wonder Woman to Daredevil, right? So you need to check this one first and this one, right? So you check it here is this is a second row and the second column, right? That's why here is 1 and 1, right? And this is the fourth row and the fourth column. We need to before that end index. So that's why here is 4 and 4. Okay, so it means you need to check the first row, the row number of the first element and the row number of the end index is 1 and 4, and the column number of this one element and the column number of this element is 4 and 4, 1 to 4. Okay, it's about how to slice the n-dimensional arrays. Any questions so far? So do you have any errors or any questions about how to slice them?
I have a question.
Oh, sure.
So for the first step and the third step, they both print like rows, right?
Yeah.
I guess. So why are they on different sides of the colon, I guess?
You mean this one?
Yeah, that one and the one below it.
Oh, here it means actually the second you use comma, right? You use comma between them, and the first argument is used to represent the different rows, and the second one is the columns. And if you want to get all the rows, you can use colon. It means from the first one to the last one, because if you remember here, if we don't pass start, it is considered as 0, and if we don't pass end, it is considered as the length of the array. So that's why if you only use this colon, it means all the rows, and then second one, the index 0, it means we only want the first element, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So this code means we want to get the first element of each row. That's why here we get the first column, because it is the first element of the first row, the first element of the second row.
Oh, okay, okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the similarity, so if you want to get all the rows, you can only use, for instance, the second example is the third row, right? So you can use 2 means the third row, but you use this column is all the element of the third row. Okay, so it's yeah, good questions. Yeah, thank you. And here's the cheat sheet, so you can learn some familiar functions and examples. Okay, and next one is about the exercise. How to slice something. So modify the given code to do the following, and the slice print the given array to look like this. It's a slicing array, right? And calculate the mean of this slice array. So calculate this one. We use the mean function, NumPy mean function. So make sure to set any resources that you may use. Here's the original array, right? You need to print out the array, and then please modify this line. Perhaps you need to add some numbers here and here, here, and here, okay? Perhaps you need to input some numbers and then get the sliced array and use and the last one, you need to modify this line to get the mean value of this sliced array. So if you forget how to use the mean value, you can check lab 12, and here you can check how to do the array, NumPy.array.mean value, okay? So repeat again. So you only need to modify 2 lines. One is this code, this line is used to slice the given array, okay? And last one, you need to get, for instance, you need to get NumPy.mean something, okay? So only 2 lines, and they spot today's exercise. Yeah, so that's all I want to share today. And if you don't have any questions, please feel free to leave the meeting, and have a nice day. Do you have some questions? You can stay here, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, have a good one. Thank you. See you on next week.